Good morning, kids. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you? We are live on the Beat Cup. It's Friday. How exciting for all of us. Because everyone likes a Friday. so, let me just make sure I got this going. When am I going to have an assistant soon? Yes, I am, Stace. Who wants to be my assistant? so, This morning, we're going to talk about something that happened that's super important to talk about. Good morning, Rachel. It's nice to see you, my friend, on YouTube. Um, I think I got a better stream going on here. I have to get my head awake right now. Let's drink a little coffee. Let's say hi to everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Stacy. Good morning, Lauren. I'm drinking a gigantic, huge latte at my sister's house. I'm not at home still. So, um, yesterday was pretty um, emotionally intense for me because I dealt a lot around the issue of transgender kids. Good morning, Patrick. How are you doing, my friend? And, that's something that really, really rubs me the wrong way when people talk shit about kids. So, Cheryl, Casey, Austin, good morning, beautiful people. Good morning, Jerry. Yes, oh no, you're sick? Oh, it's the best after you get sick and then you get to have a coffee. Enjoy your first cup of coffee. It's always the best. I cannot pronounce your name on YouTube, but Zanomax, I'd love to be your assistant, but I live in Portland. I'd love for everyone to be my assistant. Trust me, it's rough. But guess what happened yesterday too? I'll tell you some really good news. So I can't remember if I told all you guys. I got booked in Beijing. I got booked in Singapore. I got booked in Jakarta, Indonesia. And now yesterday I just got booked in Brussels, Belgium, and I got booked in Paris and Amsterdam to speak. It's incredible. Let go. The universe will take care of you. It's a real thing. Good morning, Regilio. Good morning, Katie. So that's all great. I'll be traveling to Asia. I'll be traveling to Europe to speaking at these gigantic organizations. Thank you, Tracy. It's really amazing because this organization is people who are people who don't necessarily speak with people like myself. So I'm getting to speak in organizations that don't have a clue about people like us. So it's really amazing and awesome. Good morning, Leah. So here's what we're going to talk about this morning. We're going to talk about kids. And we're going to talk about transgender, transsexual kids. Okay? Good morning, Melissa. It is very, 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 very important that I have this discussion with you. This is my choice to have this discussion today. So if any of you are not interested to talk about kids today, that's what we're talking about. Of course, we're going to talk about other things, but mostly the conversation this morning is going to center around trans kids. Regilio says, yes, you're amazing. Thank you. Anyway, I'm not amazing. We are amazing. Okay. So thank you. I appreciate that. But listen to me, Dominique. Good morning. Oh, I know I do. I started at my live cams start at a very specific time every day at 8:40ish. So that's just what we have come up with our time, and that's what we've always been doing. Trans kids. Do you believe in trans kids? Do you believe that trans kids exist? Do you believe that kids know they're trans? Do you believe? Good morning, Carmen. My son brings up your posts all the time. That's what I like to hear. So I want to be a role model for children. That's what I want to be. I want to be a role model for children. I never said that before. I never said I wanted to be a role model. I never thought of myself as a role model. I never think being a role model is a huge it's a huge, huge gift, but it's also a big responsibility. Good morning, Lindsay. But as I have been putting myself closer to the children and parents have been reaching out to me in masses, I've realized that Trans kids are my focus, and trans kids, are the people of the future, and trans kids do need to have role models. They need to see that they can be functioning, that they can be successful, that they can be whatever they want to be, that they can actually be attached to their bodies, that they can choose not to have surgery, that they can be. And so what I realized is that, yes, I am a good role model. I don't care that my work is in pornography, because pornography is not a bad thing, but we don't need to talk about that. That's not all I do, and everybody here knows that. Katie says, I absolutely believe that there are trans kids. Rachel says, of course they are. It's not something that happens suddenly. They are born trans. Yes. Or male or female in the wrong bodies, right? So Colleen says, hi, I think that's pretty great. You will be a great role model. Susan said, this is so sad what happened to Ali Stein. Yes, I believe in grandkids, in trans kids. Susan said, trans kids, not, it's okay. Listen, I want to be a role model for kids. For not just trans kids, but kids. Because we don't have it. We're not talking about it. We're not showing the positivity of when you let a child be that person that they think they are. That they can be so successful and so amazing. They're not going to grow up with triggers. They're not going to grow up feeling alienated from the world. They're not going to grow up wanting to kill themselves. They're not going to grow up wanting to drink alcohol so it doesn't hurt anymore. They're not going to grow up being drug addicts. They're not going to grow up being fucking losers. Cheryl says, my husband doesn't. He says they're too young to know. I asked him when he knew he was all man. He said he always knew. I just stared at him. He doesn't get it. So tell me about your husband, Cheryl. Is he a trans man? But he's entitled to his opinion. And of course, a lot of people don't believe kids know. It's unbelievable to me. Trans kids need to see that there's a place for them and that they belong. How is it possible that people cannot believe in trans kids? I really don't understand. I want to know. So basically what we're saying is kids don't know their direction. Kids don't understand themselves. This is a fucking lie. Here's the commonality between you and I and the rest of the world. We were all once children. I have to have a sip of my coffee. We were all once children. So now we can all have that commonality, and now we can all talk about that commonality, and now we can all say to each other, do you remember when you were a kid? There's that commonality. Lindsay says, I wish I had a role model when I was a young lesbian. Me too. Hi, Danny. Leah says, my 3-year-old daughter, Galaxy, insists we call her Batman. She breaks down if I try to put a dress on her, so I let her wear her brother's clothes now. She is much happier. We haven't labeled her as anything. We just let her be herself. Is 3 too young? Too young for what? 3 is not too young. A 3-year-old is fucking smart. And who cares what your 3-year-old wears? And who cares what your 3-year-old fucking calls themselves? Are they happy? Is that the most important thing that we should care about for a child? Are they happy? And if they aren't happy, there's a reason they're not happy. And why do we have to force our beliefs onto a child? It doesn't make sense. I don't have children. I'll never have children. I don't want children. I love kids, but I don't want kids of my own. Regilio says, they are so many misinformed. Exilio says, I knew I was a boy when I was very young. It didn't have the terminology. Exactly, as transgender. Rachel says, because people being trans is a lifestyle choice. It has nothing to do with lifestyle. It has everything to do with being. Cheryl, we both, sis, I believe we know what we are. He believes it's a choice. And that's okay what he believes, but it's not true. Jesse says, Leah, never too young, but let them choose. Looking back, I knew I wasn't straight at age. Jessica says, hey, Buck, after you are done, would it be possible for you to inbox me? Have some news to share. You inbox me, my friend. I have to go on to an interview with Chile. So after this, you guys, I'm speaking to a newspaper in Chile, which is pretty awesome, in Chile about being a trans man. And that's going to reach a whole bunch of trans kids in Chile. So how fucking awesome is that? And they're going to be able to see me talking about them and saying, it's okay, kids, just be you. It's not lifestyle. It's like when they say gay is a lifestyle. Gay is not a lifestyle. It's your sexuality. It's who you like. It's the people you're attracted to. What is this lifestyle thing? I don't understand that terminology. Do you? I don't understand the terminology lifestyle. Do you guys? McKnight Wolf says, today is the first day, what, to get out of bed because of the chemo. Oh, we're sending you a lot of love, my friend. We're sending you a lot of love, my friend. You're okay. Use cannabis. Use cannabis. It's going to help you recover from the chemo. Big time. Regilio says, when you see growing, selecting the need to let them do it and be... Look, this is what I believe. It's just my thoughts and just my opinion. Elijah says, is it possible that a young male could like the idea of dress up and dolls and society tells them they are female traits? So they see themselves as female instead of just a boy who likes... Yes. Yes. Just yes. Yes. Hold on. Stop it. Elijah, 100%. I believe that too. I'm not saying just because I believe that. Here's where the discussion needs to go. What I believe is a child is a child is a child. Children change their minds constantly. Children change their minds constantly. It is normal to change your mind. Adults change their mind. What we're saying is this, as far as I could say. If you make that choice, that's the choice you're going to have to stick with for the rest of your life. That's not true. Yesterday, I could have thought I was a lady, and today I could think I'm a man. So what? So what? Why is that such a big deal? Lenata says, yes, even if you don't like to smoke, yeah. Edibles, yes. Hi, Jude, nice to see you. Listen, children should just we should let them play, dress up. We should let them put clothes on. We should let them say, Mommy, I feel like a boy. Mommy, I feel like a girl. Mommy, I want to be called Susie. Mommy, I want to be called Tommy. Mommy, I want to be Batman. Mommy, I want to be... Or Daddy, whoever, right? I don't care, and you shouldn't care either. The only thing we should be caring about is the health, the mental health state of that child. So go ahead and watch a child tell you that they want to wear a dress, and they've been born as a boy. Now watch them put on the dress and how happy they are. Take the dress off of them. Watch how their energy changes. I've seen it. Watch how their energy changes. They're not happy. So why can't we just let little Tommy wear the dress and be called little Susie? Why are we having such a, why are we putting our own thoughts into what that child is better for that child? Liz says, and being a witch isn't bad, so let's not go there. Well, I know a lot of witches. I know a lot of witches. It's real. Jerry says, lifestyle is a way to invalidate our feelings and make it seem as if there's other. Yes, exactly. Austin says, I've never liked saying lifestyle. Because it's not lifestyle. It's not lifestyle. Oh, Katie, you're not offending anybody, Katie. We don't offend people here. We talk. So don't make apologies. It's okay. You're not offending anybody. We don't do that here. We talk about freely what we believe, and we respect each other's opinions, and we can say whatever the fuck we want to say. And that's that. Don't get offended by other people's comments here. Please don't. Because that's the reason why we started the B Cup. So we can all speak freely. We can all have our opinions. We can all respect each other's opinions. We can all learn from each other's opinions without beating each other up. There's no right or wrong way. The only right or wrong way to say or discuss things here are this. Do not disrespect people here. Do not talk down to people here. Your thoughts are no better than anybody else's here. Respect what people believe. And that's all we ask of you. Other than that, if you troll in here, you're angry, you're mean, you do that, you are no longer welcome in our group. That's all. That's all. It's that easy, kids. Okay. Danny, no, I'm not traveling to Chile. I have an interview on Skype at 11 here in LA. I hope so. Maybe next. Jerry says parents might have a difficult time with allowing their kids to play with gender because they are so set in their roles. That's exactly why. Yes, Katie would never. Katie's awesome. Katie, you would never. You would never. And Liz wouldn't either. You're all regulars. You know the drill. I just saw I apologize, and you don't need to apologize. People don't feel that way in here. I don't think so. I just don't feel that energy from everybody. Hi, Tristan. Nice to see you, my friend. And Tristan, my buddy, has known me for, gosh, pretty much, I think my whole career. We became buddies, and he's a psychologist, specifically working in the transgender field. Yes, Tristan? And so he's a good person to be in our group. because he can give us a lot of great feedback. Danny says, beautiful. If when you do travel, I will link you up with some cousin. We'll show you around. Oh, right. And smoke me out in Chile? That would be awesome. Listen, let's get back to the kids. Let's get back to the kids. So the reason why I'm having this discussion today is this. Yesterday on my Instagram, a mother reached out to me in panic. And she told me about this woman who comes on to Twitter and infiltrated a Facebook private-only transgender parent group. She went in there. She took snapshots of the children. She took snapshots of the stuff that was going on in there, and she posted it all over the internet. She posted pictures of the trans kids. She posted pictures of the parents. She posted pictures that are so dangerous and so incredibly disrespectful and so mean and so outrageous. I lost my mind. I lost my mind. I lost my mind. I lost my mind. I went off. I posted the post about her. She came at me on Twitter. You know, I told her, fuck you. You're fucked, lady. Now that my friends showed me and got me involved in this, you are fucked, lady. I'm bringing the ACLU in. I'm fucking making sure that you're taken out and go to fucking jail. Because you know what you did, you fucking bitch? You took snapshots of children and posted them on the internet out of a private fucking group. And now you put that child in danger. You put the parents in danger. You put fucking people in danger. That will not happen on Trampaw's time, bitch. And I told her that. I told her that. You fucking bitch. You don't even know who Trampaw is, do you? Come after me. I dare you. Don't come after the kids, you fucking loser. Don't come after the kids. Come after me. Come after me. Because I will hop on a plane, bitch. I will hop on a plane. I will find out where you fucking live. And I'm not kidding. I'm an adult. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'll knock on your fucking front door and I'll say, hello? Really? And here's the ACLU, and here's the police department, and your bitch is handcuffed and taken to jail. Because what you're doing, my friend, is illegal. It's illegal. You cannot take snapshots of children. You cannot post them on the internet. You cannot do that. And not on my watch. Not on my watch. So anyway, I got pissed. You know me, when I get pissed, I get sweaty, and I'm like, ah! And I freaked out. I freaked out. Because no. That's why we must have this conversation at a bigger level. We must have the conversation to say this. Kids are kids. Let them be who they are. I was a trans kid. They just called me a tomboy because that was the language we had back then. Yeah, Rachel says she's dangerous. Parents are advised not to engage. Do not even engage with her. Lock her out. Block her. If you see that woman, we'll post in the community group later, and we'll also post in the parenting group, kids. I'll send you the stuff. So listen, I have to calm down because it just puts me in such a mood, you guys. It puts me in a mood. Don't fuck with the kids. How dare you do that? I am close to many trans parents. I'm around those children. I see them every day. They're running, they're playing, they're fucking happy, they're functioning, they're doing fucking straight A's in school, they're fucking excelling at such a level you can never fucking believe. I didn't. I was excelling amazing in school when I was young until, stop, nope. You got to put the dress on. You got to be the girl. Guess what happened? Everything went downhill from there. Everything. I know. It was my life. Don't tell me it's not true. It's fucking true. I was a trans kid until everyone told me I wasn't anymore, and my whole life fell apart. So fuck you. I'm fighting for the fucking kids. Virgilio says they have a video about a boy wants to go shopping, clothes in a girl's store don't let them. One employee saw how upset the boy was. She invited the boy and his mom to the store just for him. It's so obvious, kids. It's so obvious. Stop fighting it. Stop fighting it. Colleen says, fuck her now. Fuck her. No kids need our protection for real. I don't want any kids to go through suicide. Lou says, I was always called a tomboy too. It was such a different time back then. I wish my parents... Lou, tomboy is trans. It is. They just didn't have the terminology, right? Alex says, shake it off, Buck. You are just showing normal... I don't want to shake it off, Alex. I don't want to shake it off. I want to hold on to this anger because actually it's not really anger. It's passion. It just comes out that way. Okay? Arrow Scott says, I'd say to him and anyone else, before you talk about trans anything, you need to define the term transgender. The term has become fungible and meaningless as the definition continues. I don't know about meaningless, Arrow, but it's definitely, and we talk about that all the time. Because you know there's a difference for me. I'm not transgender. I'm transsexual, Arrow. I'm transsexual. Big difference than a transgender. But they're partly of part of your comment is real. Yes, I believe that we have sort of watered down what transgender is. 100%. But let's just go back to kids. We don't need to get too deep on the kid thing. We just don't. If you want to be a trans kid or whatever you want to be, just be it. That's what I said. They used to call us tomboys. Why is that light coming in? They used to call us tomboys. Now they're calling us trans. So for me, it's the same thing, if you know what I mean. It's the same thing, but it's just a different terminology. But I'm 100% on with you. Arrow says, before you talk about trans anything, you need to define the term trans. The term has become... I know, I just read that. You wrote it again. We understand that, Arrow, but can you elaborate a little bit more? We've defined transgender. We've defined transgender. Transgender is an umbrella term for feeling not specifically in your actual born gender, like a cisgender person. So that's the definition I think trans is. Now, if a child, which we're calling a transgender child, is somebody who doesn't feel like the gender that they were born in, that's a trans kid. And the trans kid wants to be... The trans kid is Joey, but Joey wants to be Susie and dress in a little dress and be looked at as a female more form. That's a trans kid to me. That's just my definition. I don't know if that's the definition, but that's my definition. My definition of a transgender child is a child who doesn't feel in the gender that we are forcing them to be in. And says, no, mommy, I want to be this, or no, daddy, I want to be this. That, to me, is a trans child. And a trans child should be able to define their own self. Can a person feel like they are both? 100%, Megan. 100%. Jude says, I'm so glad I brought my kids up to be accepting of all. Thank you for doing that. You're a great parent. Colleen says, let's start a website for trans kids who need role models. Hell, even I need a trans role model as an adult. Yeah, that sounds like an awesome idea. Megan says, can a person feel like they are both? 100%. Good morning, Crystal. Nice to see you. Rogelio says, as soon as you put in the internet, stay is dangerous. Yes, this is the problem with having your children on the internet. And I'm not really sure we should be doing that. Let's talk about that. Arrow says there is already a 12-year-old detransitioning. But what does that mean to detransition at 12? That's the wrong language. For me, that's the wrong language. Because even though... So I want you to elaborate. I'm going to elaborate on my own here. Let's pretend like detransitioning at 12 is this. Little Tommy became little Susie in school, right? And little Susie, who used to be little Tommy in school, wears dresses and runs around and is little Susie. All of a sudden, one day at 12, Susie, who used to be Tommy, decides, you know what, Mommy? I don't feel like Susie anymore. I feel like Tommy. Okay, so what? Be Tommy again. Put on pants, run around. Is that detransitioning? Is that detransitioning? My brother is both. Chris says, morning, Buck, morning. Nick says, that is a 12-year-old deciding who they are. Right on. That's what I'm talking about. It's not detransitioning, because detransitioning is this. You actually are out there living your life as male and doing all that. And that, to me, is a bigger process. Linnaeus says, Buck, not to get off topic, but are you going to do a discussion on Ali and why they are not defining it as a hate crime? I would love to. We can definitely do that. Errol says he transitioned to female and took hormones to become a girl. At 12? Now has decided doesn't want to be a girl, but now has to have... What? Arrow, what? Wait, so I do have a little bit of... I'm going to tell you right now. Transitioning at 12 with hormones, are you sure? Are you sure that person is 12 and has boobs and has hormones? Because I think that's illegal, actually. I can't imagine giving a 12-year-old hormones. Is that real, you guys? Who are the parents out there who know better than me? There's parents here who know about all the legalities of giving your child at 12 hormones. You mean hormone blockers. Megan says, I feel I am both. I'm raising my daughter to express herself in any way she wants. Thank you, mother, father, parents. Yes, what about gender fluids? What about gender fluids? What about it? Yeah, that's part of the whole process I'm talking about. And remember what I feel about the word transgender? It's an umbrella term. Gender fluid, all of those things fit under there. Arrow says 100% yes. He is now sterile and has to have detransition surgery. I just think, yes, I agree with you on this one, Arrow. I do not think young children should be given hormones. I do not believe that. Hormone blockers, yes. But I do not believe at 12 years old you are really secure in the way you're feeling. You could be. I could be wrong. But I wouldn't, as a parent, I wouldn't take that chance. Children change their mind all the time. I've changed my mind many times. I was transitioning as 12. Matisse says I was transitioning. So tell me about your transition at 12. Did you actually take hormones? Did you actually take hormones? Or did they give you hormone blockers? Did they do surgery on you at 12? Finn says it is illegal. Matisse says, but my mother stopped my access. So we want to know more about you now. Kids can take hormones with parental consent. That's deep. Lou says, I've read the article. It says the 12-year-old was given estrogen, which sounds ridiculous to me, but I couldn't confirm whether the article. Find it, Lou. Find it, Lou. I need it. Find it for me. I need it. I need to read it. I need to see it. I need to talk about it. Elijah says, I think we put too much stock in labels. Labels, of course we do, but that's the way the reality of the world is. And until it's changed, Deborah says, as a mom of 4, I wouldn't put my child on anything until they're 18. Either would I. I wouldn't put my child on hormones at 12. I wouldn't. I might consider blockers, but I would not put my child on hormones at all. That's just me. Matisse says, yes, that's the law in the U.S. You can't have surgery until 18. And I agree with that. Blockers, not hormones. Absolutely parental. Tori says, hello, beautiful people. I have missed you. We miss you too, my friend. Matisse says, children can have blockers. Then they may not need any estrogen. What about 16? Okay, that's a great question, Jaylee. 16. I believe that 16 you're getting to be a little bit more understanding of who you are and what you are. Though I still wouldn't give you hormones at 16. I wouldn't. I give you blockers. And I'm going to tell you this. Let's see here. Adamus, I still dress in jeans and t-shirts, and same as when I was a little girl being called a tomboy. I didn't feel like I had support of anything. Both means they are androgynous. Rachel, I know of 14-year-olds who had top surgery in the USA. I don't believe it. I mean, I believe you. I wouldn't do it. I don't know. 14, I wouldn't do it. 14 and top surgery? What? No. There is a case when a mom gave her kid estrogen, not prescribed by a doctor. I'll find the article. Yes, I need to see that. So I wouldn't at 16. You're still in a process. Damn it. The sun. Sorry, you guys. The sun is like right in my face because I'm not at home. Listen. I personally, and again, it's me. Whatever you want to do with your child, it's your child, your life, all that. This is me speaking about what I believe. I don't believe children, and that's under the age of 18, should be given any types of hormones or any types of surgery. I just don't believe it. I'm going to take that back. 16, 17, you kind of might start to know what you're talking about, but I'm really nervous about surgery. I'm really nervous because there's no turning back. Ty says, how do you feel about the trans girl Jazz? I love Jazz, and I've met Jazz a million times. And I think that she was on blockers, Ty. I don't think that she actually had surgery or any of that. I think she was on hormone blockers most of that time. And she's amazing, and she's well adjusted, and she's fucking successful, and she walks the world that way. Tori says, blockers, not hormones, and no surgery until 18. That's just what I believe. Errol says, exactly. So, therapy, get your child into therapy. Hello, get your child around places that are positive, not negative. Be very positive with your child. Understand that your child is a journey like we all did. Here's the thing. Why aren't people remembering when they were children? And I don't care if you're transgender, transsexual, gay, lesbian, whatever the fuck you are. It's as if people forgot when they were children. And the total insane agony that you have as a child. Dealing with other kids, being called names, not fitting into groups, not being accepted. That's everybody. It has nothing to do with being trans. It has to do with being a child. And that's how children interact with each other. Now, that said, take it up a notch and think about whether or not you feel comfortable in your body. Now you're at a whole other level of dealing with children. Hi, NG. It's nice to see you, my buddy. NG says, this is why we need the same 1-year minimum counseling like we had back in the day. Detransitioning is a real thing in our community and needs to be discussed before the big decision is made. Thank you. We need to stop letting our young folks walk in the risk without proper warnings. Love you, brother. Thanks. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate your comment, and you're awesome. We all believe that. We believe in trans kids. We believe that kids. We were kids. We know it. But what I personally don't believe is giving hormones to children under 18, getting surgery. Those are things that you will create problems if you decide that you are not that. Why do you want to create problems that cannot be solved? That doesn't make any sense to me. Azra says Kim Petras began blockers at 12 and HRT at 16 under doctor's care. And that's okay. Maybe it worked for that person. Sometimes it's going to work. There are different people, different things work for people, different things are that. And that worked for that 16-year-old. I hope that that person has an amazing, beautiful life. But let's talk about the whole spectrum here. It's a very difficult decision to make. It's a very difficult decision to make. But I personally don't think children should be taking hormones or having surgery or doing anything that is altering yourself that you cannot reverse. Does that make sense? Until you are 18 years old, which is what we've decided is an adult. Alex, I've watched TV shows where kids under the age of 10 were transitioning. But what does that mean? Megan says, I feel that surgery and hormones should be done at 18 because they are legal adults and they can make their decision. Tori says, I think for me, it's hard because I have encountered those who are mentally ill and who want to be whatever their partner wants them to be. And it means, yeah, and then we have that. That means if the partner looks at his girlfriend and says, I wish you were a boy, then, and that's a whole other, oh, God. I'm hungry. I gotta go. It's deep. It's deep, kids. It's deep. Most importantly, here's what I want to tell you. Tori says, we need affordable therapy and free therapy to anyone under 18. I think we all agree this. Matisse says, markers can be changed with a pen or a computer. No surgery needed. Exactly. So let me go. But in closing, I want to say this to you kids. Because you're my kids. We must let people, and kids are people too, make their own choices in the world. When you make good choices, you learn from them. When you make bad choices, you learn from them. It is how you become a great person. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone can make choices. If you start to let your child make choices at an early age, that child will start to understand good choices and bad choices. We have to stop acting as if children don't know what the fuck they're doing. Children know what the fuck they're doing. Sometimes they need a little guidance. It's why we can't let them take hormones because they would do that. And why we can't let them just have surgery because they want it, because they would do it. And we as adults know better. But that said, we don't know what that child is feeling inside of their own body. We don't know whether or not saying, no, Tommy, you can't be Susie, is going to make them so fucked up for the rest of their life. I would say it probably is. So why do you not just let your child be that child? You let your child ride different kinds of bikes because that's why they like it. You let your child pick out different kind of toys because that's what they like. You let your child eat peas because they love them. You let your child not want to eat the meat because they don't want to. Why don't you let your child just be that person that they want to? What's the difference? You're letting that child make choices on their own, and that is the most important thing. Be a guidance as a parent or an adult or a teacher or a doctor or whatever part of that life you're in for that child. Just guide them with love. Don't guide them with you know better, because you don't know better. The child knows better. The child just needs to understand that they can't take it to this other level yet. Be patient. Teach your children patience. Teach your children love. Teach your children to explore their own self without feeling like they can't, because we don't teach people to explore themselves. We teach people this. You are this, and that's all you are, and you're not allowed to ever change again. That's what we teach people in the world, which is bullshit, because you can change every day. Today I want to wear my hat that says LA. Tomorrow I don't want to wear any hat. Today I want to wear my glasses. Right? Tomorrow I don't want to wear my glasses. Okay? Right? It is that simple, kids. It is that simple. Choices should be made, because choices teach you, and choices are education. And if we don't let people make their own choices, how will they learn? Especially children. Especially children. You only need to be there as a support. You do not need to be there telling them, right, this is not right, this is not wrong. Let them make mistakes. Just don't let them make mistakes where they have actually physically transitioned and then they're feeling like, oh shit. That's a whole other conversation. I'm going to put my LA hat back on because it's the hat I'm wearing today. I love you guys a lot. I'm going to let YouTube go, because I always let YouTube go first. Hi, YouTube. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. And don't forget, right, Pride Cannabis is my... It's not drugs. Big difference. Go to the world. Create an awesome world today. Give if you can. Take if you need it. Be a great person. That's all I ask. I love you guys on YouTube.